live. Let me change this up a bit. I gotta, do some things, put a thumbnail and title and stuff like that on this video really quickly. I'll be live for 30 minutes. First time I've been live in 3 days at this point. I'm trying to stream a lot more. I'm trying to stream near every day, probably like 2-3 days during the week, and then a couple times a day during the weekend. So I'm trying to do that, and just stream more overall. Because there's a time where I barely streamed over some time. ACC football schedule breakdown. That's what we're doing in this stream. We're breaking down the ACC football schedule. Everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. Alright, so yeah, ACC schedule was released 2 days ago. I was trying to do the stream a couple days ago, but I ended up not doing it. And we're just going to go over all the ACC scheduling, all that stuff, schedules for all teams. I'll give you guys some predictions. And yeah, let's see, is this blurry? Is this blurry? Is this blurry? Why is that Facebook? What are we doing? Save image. There we go. Alright, that should be up there. Nah, we have to change that up a bit. So we're gonna go over the entire ACC football schedule. Gonna make sure this computer is working, so it's like not broken, because I had a little rage yesterday after the after a UNC lost to Pitt. So yeah, it's not good. I usually don't like get super mad like that after games. Like, I'm mad like in my head, but I usually don't like break anything. That's probably the first time I can remember being that mad since probably the 2019 NBA Finals, where the Warriors lost to the Raptors, and I was 10 years old then. So yeah, I mean, it's just like, I've seen my teams play bad, but I've never seen a team with such good expectations and such high talent play so bad. The talent is truly, of this UNC football team, the talent is truly out of the roof. It's one of the most talented teams in college basketball. And the fact that you're losing these games and not being able to hold them is crazy. So that's not what the stream's about, but it's just what I'm mad about. It's just what I'm mad about. So maybe, I kind of like did that to my computer, but like, yeah. What is good, Alex? What is up? Do I think the Warriors can win today? The Thunder are an amazing team, man. Steph is playing, but the Thunder are a great team. So I do. We've beaten them this year so far, but I think it's going to be very difficult. I think it's going to be very difficult for the Warriors to win today. I just realized that the reason why my phone keeps moving around is because there's some paper, so things are sliding on a paper. But yeah, Warriors can win, but it's going to be a difficult game for sure. Definitely going to be a difficult game. Anyways, though, let's hop into this ACC football schedule, go through all of it, give my takes on some predictions, games I will be going to, and yeah, just stuff like that. What is up? What is up? So let's get right into it, and we're going to start it off with, who's the first team in the ACC? ACC football schedules sheet. Is that it? Can I just look that up? Let's see. All 17 team schedule. All right, here we go. We're gonna go from we're gonna go from A to Z. We're gonna start with Boston College. So week 1, 8:30, they play Fordham. Then they play Michigan at Stanford. Okay, so keep in mind, I live in the Bay Area. Most optimal games for me to go to are Stanford and Cal. The two most optimal games. And then like other games that are like that I can get to in cars, like, I mean, just like not as big teams, but like still there's like San Francisco, what else? St. Mary's, I don't even know how far I live from I've never actually been to St. Mary's. And then what else? There's like San Jose State. So there's definitely things. Santa Clara. So yeah. They're on bye week 4, on the road against Cal week 5, week 6 at Pitt. I think that might be I want to say no, that's not actually. That's not. That's a Saturday game. The Cal game though is going to be a Friday night game for Boston College. I think. I think. Clemson at home, UConn, Louisville. Why do they have UConn during their conference schedule? Why do they have UConn during their conference schedule? The end of the season with SMU, Georgia Tech have a bye week 12 and have Syracuse. Moving on to Cal. So yeah, Cal does have two flex games. So on the 18th, I don't know why that says or 17th. Wait, let me look it up. I think I might have the dates. I don't know if I have the dates right there. I don't know if I have the dates. Yeah, so Cal is going to host UNC, my favorite team, obviously, on either the 16th or the 17th. That's a Thursday night or a Friday night game. It's a flex game. It can happen either one. It's just what the ACC decides in advance. So that game could be the 16th. That game could be the 16th or the 17th, and it will not be moved to Saturday. That's obviously not going to be an option. What else? Let's see. For Cal, we also got Georgia Tech. That's also going to be a flex game. That game against Georgia Tech's either going to be the 22nd or 23rd. That could be a Thursday night or Friday night game. That's also the next week, which is really interesting. On the 1st of November, that is going to be a road game. They're going to be at Louisville. That's a home game. They're going to be at Louisville on the 8th. A bye in week 15. Play at Stanford on the 22nd. And then you go on the road to play SMU in the final week on the 29th. Moving on to Clemson. Look at the non-conference schedule. The non-conference schedule for Clemson's always different, right? Because, yeah, the non-conference schedule for Clemson is always different because Clemson plays South Carolina it's the two main teams in South Carolina and Clemson, obviously. So they play as a rivalry game in week 14 every year. And then they play Furman at home on the 22nd. And then the first two games are LSU at home and Troy at home. And then you have Georgia Tech, Syracuse. You're going to have a week 5 bye, just like UNC. So both teams coming off the bye. That makes sense. And then you have North Carolina on the road. Boston College on the road week 6. That's week 7, actually. And then SMU. That might be a kind of tough stretch of games. And then Duke, Florida State. So Clemson doesn't have the easiest schedule. We're going to take a look. But I think LSU is going to be a lot better this year. LSU is going to be much improved this year. Taking a look at Duke, starting off in non-conference. Duke does have UConn on their schedule. That game will be on the 8th. That is a week 9 game, I think. That game's going to be at UConn. I don't know why so many of these basketball teams have games against UConn in football. UNC doesn't, but we played them in our bowl game last year in the Fenway Wasabi Bowl. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens with UConn. Because UConn, I think they have like 3 ACC teams on their schedule, which is crazy. Non-conference games, though. Duke starts it off at home against Elon, at home against Illinois. That should be a good game. On the road against Tulane. And then you have NC State in week 4. That's still a slight rivalry in football. That is still a slight rivalry in football. So that game should be cool. Syracuse on the road. Cal on the road on the 27th and 4th. You have, so they have the byes lined up. You have a bye week 7, and then you have Georgia Tech at home, and then you have a bye week 8. You go on the road for Clemson, UConn. And then UNC will go on the road to finish our final 2 games off as rivalry games. We will play at home this year against Duke on the 22nd. Should be a good game. Moving on to Florida State, a team that looks to have a much better season this year. You think FSU wins the ACC? Yeah, they're going to get a lot better in ACC play this year. But taking a look at their schedule, you started off at home against Alabama. We're going to have to see how Alabama is going to be in this upcoming season. There's a lot of talk around Alabama. Jalen Milroe is not going to come back. Not that he looked very good last year, for himself, what he did and stuff, but he didn't look very good in the Seniors Bowl. East Texas, A&M. Wow, they don't have an away game until week 5. They have East Texas A&M at home on the 6th, and then you have week 3 off. That's the 13th. The 20th they host Kent State. Are you kidding me? That is the easiest game you can possibly play. Week 5, they're going to go on the road to play Virginia. That's going to be a Friday game. SFU and Virginia, 2 teams UNC murdered coming off in between bye week. You're going to go on the road to play Miami on the 4th, back to Saturday. That game probably should get the national spotlight. 2 teams that were kind of underwhelming last year, but also, like, you know, not all the attention. I know one team had Cam Ward and one team had DJ Ukulele, but, like, you know, ended up not being very good. DJ got hurt. Week 7 is going to be Pitt at home. You go on the road to play Stanford week 8, a bye in week 9, and then you end the season on a weird looking schedule. You're going to have Wake Forest at home, Clemson on the road, Virginia Tech at home, NC State on the road, Florida on the road. I see like a 3-2 record there, maybe 2-3. I don't know. Florida State's going to look like Florida State football this year, I think. I don't think last year threw off their entire franchise. I don't think it did. Moving on to Georgia Tech. We're going to start it off on the 30th at Colorado. Okay, that's non-conference. And then you have Gardner-Webb on the 6th at home. And then Clemson on the 13th at home. And then you play a game here against Temple that is still at home. The first game's on the road against Colorado. And then Georgia Tech. Yeah, you start off with those first 4 weeks. You have 3 non-conference games because you're going to play Georgia in the final week. That game, once again, has been scheduled as a Friday game. Back-to-back years. I don't know if they usually do that. I don't remember that game 2 years ago, but we'll see if it has a similar ending as last year. Probably not. I don't think any game will ever have that. But before that Georgia game, you have Pitt on the road, you have Pitt at home, Boston College on the road, a bye in week 8 at NC State on the first day of November, and then Syracuse, Duke, Virginia Tech, and then the bye in week 6, the first bye. Moving on to Louisville, you started off on the 30th against Eastern Kentucky. That's a home game, and I don't see an away game until week 5. Yeah, you have James Madison at home. That should be a good game. JMU at Louisville. I don't know how JMU didn't win their conference last year. Depressing after they beat UNC 70-50. Week 3 bye, Bowling Green at home, and then similar to Louisville, they do have that rivalry game against Kentucky. That's the final. That's the final game of the season. That's the Week 14 game. SMU on the road in Week 12. You have Clemson at home, Cal at home, Virginia Tech on the road, Boston College at home, Miami on the road. That Miami game on the 17th, we're going to get Louisville at Miami. That's going to be on Friday. And then that game against Clemson, Louisville will host that game. That game will be a Friday game as well. So, pretty difficult schedule this year for Louisville. We'll have to see how that goes for them. Moving on to Miami football. Started off Friday against Notre Dame. We all know that game should be amazing. Gets the national spotlight. And then week 2, they host Bethune-Cookman. Let me look that up. Bethune-Cookman. It's in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm going to look up college football, ranking all 132 college football teams. Ranking all 132 college football teams. And I want to see where Bethune ranks. Let's go Control F. Bethune. It's not even popping up. What the heck? Is this not D1 football? Alright, we're going to scroll down. We're going to scroll all the way down. I'm looking, keeping an eye out. Alright. Kent State, Kansas State, Southern Mississippi, Middle Tennessee, Tulsa. Maybe they go by like a short name, BC. No, that would be Boston College. Bethune-Cookman. Bethune. I don't see them anywhere. I literally do not see them anywhere. Bethune-Cookman. Yeah, I don't see Bethune-Cookman anywhere, honestly. Let's see. Alright, we're going to look it up. Bethune-Cookman D1 football. There's no way that's D1 football, because there's no way they're going to play Miami. They're the Wildcats. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it is D1. Wait, is it D1 football? Yeah, it has to be D1 football. Yeah, it is Division 1 football. Okay. I was about to say, I was so confused. 49ers have an easy schedule next season. Oh my god, it is so easy. I know. It is a very, very easy schedule. We should win a lot of games. Anyways, though, they play USF University of San Francisco, I think. Yeah, on the 13th. And that Notre Dame. Okay, yeah. Then you host Stanford on the 25th. 8 days of rest, 6 days of rest, and then you go another 7. You go on the road to play SMU. On the 8th, they host Syracuse. 15th, they host NC State. 22nd, they go all on the road to play Virginia Tech, and they end the season on the 29th against Pitt. That's kind of difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Moving on to my favorite team, the North Carolina Tar Heels. Take a look at the schedule right here. Host TCU. That's Monday Night Football. That game should be so much fun. And keep in mind, I will stream every single UNC football game on here, besides the Cal game, which I will be at. But yeah, at Charlotte week 2, hosting Richmond week 3, at UCF week 4. And something that's really interesting about this UNC football schedule this year is you never have back-to-back home games or back-to-back away games. Home week 1 against TCU, road week 2 against Charlotte, home week 3 against Richmond, away week 4 against UCF, home week 5 against Clemson, away week 6 against Cal, home week 7 against Virginia, away week 8 against Syracuse, home week 9 against Stanford, away week 10 against Wake Forest, home against Duke, and then away against NC State. So that's interesting. That's cool actually, the way they lined that up. And you got a bye in week 5 and a bye in week 7. So between that UCF game on the 20th and the Cal game on the 16th, UNC has nearly actually 3 weeks and 6 days straight of rest. 27 days of rest. You have to count travel time. And wait, no, you have Clemson on the 4th, actually. But between that time, there's 2 full weeks with no football. And there's preparation for the games, but yeah. But that actually is crazy, though. That actually is crazy. And it's nearly a month with no away game. And then, yeah, on the 16th, UNC will play, or either the 16th or the 17th. The 18th is a Saturday. It's either going to be a Thursday night game or a Friday night game on the road against Cal. We're going to have to see. I'm hoping it's going to be a Friday night game, but then in 2 weeks, UNC will have a Friday night game against Syracuse on Halloween. I'll talk about that in a second. And we're going to hope that it's a Friday night game, but with that Friday night game and then 2 weeks, I assume it'll be a Thursday night game, likely to start at 7:30, so it is a late game. It is a late game, but I'll be there. Back at home against Virginia, and then you go on the road to play against Syracuse, one of the most interesting games of this upcoming season. I'm actually going to look this up. Syracuse football 2025. Yeah, so it is going to be, let's see, 2025 Halloween. It is going to be on Halloween, and yeah, so UNC will go on the road on the 31st. Wait, let me just make sure, because I might be tripping. Like, sometimes I don't realize when Halloween is. Is it the 31st? It is, right? I swear that's the 31st. I might be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure it's the 31st. Let's see, October 31st. Hold up, nope. October, okay. The 31st, yeah, 31st is always Halloween. I don't know what I'm saying right now. So, yeah, that's a Halloween game. Hopefully, it's not super loud outside my house. And then, yeah, you host Stanford on the road against Wake Forest, and then Duke and NC State to end it out. Moving on to NC State, started off with a Thursday night game, I believe, back-to-back years, a Thursday night game. I don't know. Yeah, last year they played, was it East Carolina? I don't know, something like that. But host East Carolina, that's going to be a rematch of a bowl game from this last year, Thursday night. Week 2 is going to be at home against Virginia. And then a 5-day rest, and then you get another Thursday night game on the road against Wake Forest. On the 20th, you're at Duke. 27th, at Virginia Tech. On the 4th, you're at Campbell. That's going to be the second non-conference game. And then on the 11th, you go on the road to play Notre Dame. You have the 18th off, so a bye in week 8. On the road against Pitt. At home against Georgia Tech. Bye in week 11. And then you're at Miami. Home against Florida State, and then home against UNC. I just realized how many non-conference games is that? Non-conference is East Carolina, non-conference is Campbell, and non-conference is Notre Dame. 3 non-conference games all year. And that Florida State game will be on a Friday. Florida State game will be on a Friday. That is so weird. That's so strange. Moving on to Pitt's schedule, though. Week 1 is going to be at home against Duquesne. Week 2 is going to be at home against Central Michigan. Week 3 is going to be on the road against West Virginia. Week 4 off. And then Louisville, Boston College at home. And then we get back-to-back away games. Florida State, Syracuse. NC State and Stanford are going to be... Or NC State's going to be on the road. And Stanford is going to be at Stanford. The bye on the 8th, that is I want to say week 11. And then you're going to host Notre Dame, go on the road to play Georgia Tech, and then you're going to end the season at home against Miami. Why on Friday for what? For what school? For NC State? It's just they schedule stuff. I don't know what game you mean exactly though. Moving on to SMU, and I'm sorry right now if you guys are watching this stream and it's super laggy. I'm trying to figure this out because my computer is stuck right now. I think that might be because I punched it yesterday. I don't even know. But, like, I think my internet is really bad right now. I think it is because I just tried loading the stream on this computer, and it's literally not loading at all. So, I'm sorry if it's super laggy right now. Just comment down below, and I'll just change it. Like, I'll change up the network or something like that. SMU, you start off with East Texas A&M on the road against Baylor. Oh, I actually like this schedule for SMU because SMU is going to play... Yeah, SMU's first 4 games of this is actually how college football season should be, unless there's like a big rivalry, non-conference and stuff. Their first 4 games, they start off with 2 non-conference games and then 2 conference games. They have week 5 a bye, so you get a bye after non-conference going into conference. You have Syracuse and Stanford at home, at Clemson, at Wake Forest, home against Miami, at Boston College. A bye for the second to last game, and then Louisville at California. That is a perfectly put together schedule. That is very well done. For Stanford, you started off on the road against Hawaii. That is actually a week 0 game. Yeah, that's a week 0 game, and because that's a week 0 game, and it's just one of those very, very early games in the schedule, Stanford actually has an extended season with 3 bye weeks. Stanford gets to travel all the way back across the Pacific Ocean back to San Francisco, where they will then head back to Stanford. 2 weeks off, go on the road to play BYU, which will be a difficult game. And if Stanford wins that game, assume them to stay in Hawaii for a bit celebrating. Boston College at home on the 13th, Virginia on the road on the 20th. San Jose State, matchup every year, at home on the 27th. You have the bye in week 7. Then you go on the road to play SMU, at home against Florida State, at Miami, at home against Pitt, at UNC, home against Cal, home against Notre Dame. Whoa. Whoa, that is a difficult schedule. That is crazy. That is a really difficult schedule. Oh my, Stanford has the most difficult schedule in the ACC. Your easiest game is what? Virginia? Virginia, San Jose State, and Hawaii are your only 3 easy games. Everything else, and probably Cal too. Everything else is going to be a battle. That is crazy. Moving on to Syracuse football. Started off at 10. No, that's not a home game or an away game. Wait, how do they do this? At 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to have 5 designated away games at an actual away opponent. 6 designated home games where you host it on your own turf, and then 1 neutral-sided game. They're going to play Tennessee and Atlanta, probably at the Falcon Stadium, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Very nice stadium in the NFL. Hosting UConn week 2, hosting Colgate week 3, Clemson on the road, Duke at home, SMU on the road, off. Then you have Pitt at Georgia Tech, at UNC. That game against UNC is a Friday game. That will be on Halloween, and that is a home game against UNC. At Miami on the 8th, you have a bye in week 12, and then you're going to end the season at Notre Dame, and then at home against Boston College. Somewhat easy, kind of difficult, though. You have a few tough opponents like Pitt, Miami, UNC, SMU. Duke might be okay. For Virginia, they started off at home against Coastal Carolina, and I see. No, thought I saw 5 straight home games. Started off against Coastal Carolina at NC State week 2. And you're going to host William and Mary and Stanford in week 3 and 4. On the road against Florida State on a Friday game at Louisville then. Week 7 is a bye. Washington State at home, at UNC, at Cal, home against Wake Forest, at Duke. Week 13 off, and then you end the season against Virginia Tech. I kind of like how they put that schedule together, honestly. Random game against Washington State in there. I don't know how that game against Washington State ended up finding its way in there, but yeah, it is what it is. For Virginia Tech, you started off against South Carolina, and that game is going to be Sunday. That game's going to be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Neutral-sided game. Vanderbilt at home, Old Dominion at home, Wofford at home, on the road against NC State. So you don't have a bye or an away game until week 5 at NC State. Wake Forest at home, Georgia Tech on the road, the bye in week 8. Cal game on the 23rd. That game could be flexed to the 24th as well. So that is going to be either a, I believe, Thursday or Friday game. Yeah, it's either going to be a Thursday or Friday game against Cal. Louisville at home, off in week 10. And then Florida State on the road, Miami at home, Virginia on the road. Okay, moving on to the final schedule. You got Wake Forest. Started off on Friday against Kennesaw State. Then you host Western Carolina. Host NC State. That's going to be a Thursday game. And then you have week 4 off on a bye. Week 5 is going to be back home against Georgia Tech. No, kind of like Michigan, no home game, no away game until week 6. Virginia Tech and Oregon State then on the road. Bye in week 8. SMU at home. And then you end the season on a weird-looking schedule. Florida State, Virginia on the road. UNC at home, and then Delaware at home, and then end the season against Duke. So that's the full ACC schedule. Comment if there's anything you guys would like to know, even though, I don't know what's going on right now with my internet. It's not good right now, but yeah, that's the full schedule. It's a good schedule. I actually really like how the ACC put the schedule together. I think it's really well done by UNC. I kind of like how I'm going to get to see UNC play Cal in either Thursday or Friday, or a late Saturday game would be nice too, but obviously that's not going to happen. So it is a very well put together schedule, very well put together schedule by the ACC. Can I do AAC? Yeah, sure. Let's go over the schedule. Is it even released yet? American football schedule. Is it just showing games? Got a few Thursday games that started off with Alabama State, UAB, App State, Charlotte, East Carolina, NC State. But I don't know. I don't think the full schedule is out yet. Let's see a composite schedule right here. That's from last year. Yeah, I don't know if the AAC's released their full schedule yet. 2025 American season right here. Let's just go. Best team in full schedule. Yeah, their schedule's not been released yet. It just lists their a game against Saturday against Arkansas. Yeah, the AAC schedule has not been released yet. Not all schedules have been released yet. So they're gonna get all released within the next couple weeks sometime. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm gonna end that stream there. I'll end it in a second. We're just loading this, and yeah, the UNC football schedule is out. All ACC schedules are out. I'm gonna find games to go to, games to vlog, all that type of stuff. Most preferences would be Stanford football and Berkeley football. But ACC, they host, how many games do they host? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, 6. I thought I saw 7. So all right, 6 games on that schedule, and 6 I think for Cal as well. So yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. More videos coming. I'll drop videos after this. Warriors Thunder tonight. There's no problem on this computer at all. I think it's just this one. Warriors play the Thunder tonight at 7. I'm probably not going to stream it, unfortunately. I kind of wanted to stream this game just because the Thunder are a really good team, and it'd be great if the Warriors pull off an upset on stream. But upcoming streams, 4 games. I'll try to stream the Lakers game next week. Warriors. UNC Duke this weekend. UNC Clemson on the 10th. UNC Syracuse on the 15th. Yeah, all that type of stuff. So I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you guys for watching this stream. Sorry if it was super laggy or the chat wasn't working very well because my computer is not doing very well. And I think the internet's kind of bad today. Going to Magic Warriors this Monday. That should be a fun game, honestly. I really, really want to see Paolo Banchero play. I know I'm a UNC fan, and I don't like Duke, but I'm a big Paolo Banchero fan. He's probably my favorite Duke player ever. One of my favorite players in the league. So it's going to be exciting. But, yeah, that's it for this stream. Thank you guys for watching.